So,
We ain't got no jobs.
no, at that time, we're talking
Yeah.
about 1994. Okay? That was established. If you lose that power, if you lose the job, you lose the power. So, if, Power Authority comes along and say, well, Pfizer is losing all their jobs, we're gonna lose that hydropower.
Exactly.
50% of the village, of our allocation is, Pfizer.
They've already tried to do that. I talked
Well,
about it
that's
for a
right,
year.
but I held them off.
We
How
held
long?
them.
See, somebody told me in the village, well, when they don't use it, we're gonna use all hydropower. I said, no, you won't. You're still gonna have incremental power.
You know, myself, and Plattsburgh, and what you call it, Messina, we tried to hold them off. Had a big discussion on a phone call. There was a lot of people involved in it, and we managed to hold them off.
Because I know for a fact, there's so many places in New York State that wants that hydropower.
New York City take that.
And once you lose it, you never get it back.
Yep, you never get it back, that's
So
right.
that's why I say, Gary Douglas and his crew and his things, they better start moving to get something, easier or something.
Yeah, we're-
Get off their dust and stop raising taxes and all that stuff, mandates.
Well, they are working actually pretty hard, Mr. O'Neill. I give them credit. This is not new to here. The whole national economy is in the toilet, basically.
Go on, I know,
So, I mean, they're doing their best.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
But I just wanna make it clear that the village residents, they're not gonna keep that hydropower if we don't have the jobs.
They're also trying to tell us that they're going to charge us fees for transferring it over here now. This is something new coming up. We put them off for 2 years on that.
Bill, when I was there, you couldn't believe how many, that Power Authority things, all the things to.
It's a whole
increase.
different animal now. It's National Grid.
That's why we have lawyers and public service thing, it's unbelievable, mind-boggling. The Power Authority in New York State has always done this. They're gonna continue to do it.
Well, the MEUA is awful worried about it.
We're doing the best we can. We're doing pretty good, but
I know.
we'll come out of this, and we've got a lot of issues we have to deal with. But we'll come out of it. We'll be fine.
And one more thing, I'd like to say something about the curfew. We have a tremendous sergeant in this village.
We do.
I had kids, were playing till 10:30 at night. I called Tommy Trump, he said, kids, time to go home. And they went. He had that missing, powers out there. We don't need to arrest them or anything like that. It's just, if Tommy's on duty at night, you wouldn't have that much trouble.
He's on quite a few nights.
I'm just saying, it was about 15 or 20 kids, and he told them, hey, it's late, it's time to go home, people want to sleep.
That's good. We put that out there for, to see what people thought of it.
Yeah.
If they don't think too much of it, well, we won't bother with it.
No, I'm just saying,
We're getting a lot of people
Well,
are coming in
yeah,
the village now, and
The issue is, the makeup of the village has changed drastically.
oh, absolutely.
So we're down to 1.5, what they call 1.5 in civil service speak. One full-time, one half-time.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to resolve this by either hiring a couple more part-time or a combination of several things,
Yeah.
which would include a curfew. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
But if the residents want a curfew, we're here to represent the residents, whatever they want. We will try our best to make it happen.
Yeah.
But at this point, we've focused on where the problems are, Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, and Tommy actually has a pretty good handle on it right now.
Yeah.
He's designated working those evenings. We're working with the state police, especially the sheriff's department is sending units over here.
Yeah.
So we're gaining, but it just hit us pretty hard all at once.
Village board, the trouble is, I don't know if you know this, about 45% of the people in this village are voters that don't vote. 45%.
That's gonna have to change.
I mean, at the village elections, county, town, state,
Oh, same.
they don't even vote.
Nationally, the same way.
Same thing. They don't care.
That has to change. We have issues and we need help.
Now, if you could vote by internet,
Get a lot more.
Okay, we got to move
Okay.
on.
okay, that's it. Thank you.
Anybody else
Thank you,
wishing to
Mr.
address the board? Okay, if not, next thing is bid results. Surplus of village property. We had nobody bid on it or nothing, so it stays as it is. Minutes of the previous meeting, regular meeting of August 5th, 2013, a special meeting of August 6th, 2013, and a special meeting of August 8th, 2013. I need a motion.
Make a motion to approve the minutes,
Second.
previous meetings.
Any discussions? No discussion, vote by the usual sign of aye.
Aye.
Mayor votes aye.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to go back quickly on that property.
Yeah,
It's already been surplus, is that correct?
it's been surplus.
Carol, per se.
Yes, it is.
I was talking to the NICOM attorney, and he told me a story of a place in Pennsylvania, I think it was. They put it on eBay. He said it's legal in New York State. They wanted $2,500 for it, they actually got $25,000 for it. So if we could put that on eBay somehow, and anybody know how to do that?
Carol, does it have to be surplus again, or once it's surplus?
No, once it's
Still.
surplus.
It's forever, okay.
He said in New York State, you can actually use eBay as a sales mechanism and throw it out to a bigger audience. I just want to make that point.
Check into it.
What is surplus?
That property over on, behind the old Chicken Galore.
Oh,
I think it's 1.6 acres.
See if
Oh,
we
we
can-
had a couple, what happened, Benny, was a couple guys asked us about it, and so we put a price on it, and I guess they changed their minds.
Well, no sense in the village if they can sell it, and
Exactly.
get rid of it,
Get
right?
rid of it, put it on the
We were
tax roll.
hoping,
Yeah.
there was two different guys that wanted two different businesses, we thought maybe we'd get some, something on the tax rep, you know,
Sure,
get it up and
that's
going.
good, I hear.
We don't want to short the taxpayer, at
Yeah.
least sell it for value.
So, that's what we were up to, but it didn't pay enough for us.
I'll have to go to.
Okay, bills, the next thing. Everybody got a copy of the bills?
Yeah.
Yeah, you.
Pay the bills. Need a motion to pay the
No.
bills?
Any additional conditions?
Additions
Additions or deletions?
Public library.
Oh, yeah, and the addition?
We have one addition, New York Power Authority, it's the total amount is 101,648.66. 97,298.64 is the monthly bill, 579.06 is the hybrid vehicle, and 3,776.64 is installation program.
Is that the last payment on the hybrid?
I don't think so.
Make a motion to accept the bills as amended?
Second.
Discussion, vote by use of sign of aye.
Aye.
All right.
Correspondence.
I only have one item. This summer, we had a problem with the sewer line from our house to the road. We called Rainey's Repair and twice over a short period of time, and this did not solve the problem because they could not get through to the end of the pipe. Their next step they took, and they called the village in, they went in with a camera. They found the problem, dug up part of our front lawn, repaired the broken pipe, leveled out the dirt, and seeded it. We were very impressed with the handling of the problem. They did a very professional job. Kudos to all the village employees who were in this project. We could not be more pleased. This was when Craig and Penny Treggett on Maple Street.
Very good.
That's all I have.
Okay, Mayor Francis Baker, authorized village clerk to publish a legal notice for a public hearing on local law number 1, local law authorizing the award purchase contracts on the basis of the best value. His, Dylan Champlain had a motor vehicle, and it was only $50 difference between the two. And they had to stuck him with the lower, they had to take the other, the $50 cheaper one.
What happened was state law changed. The town of Champlain, I think it was,
That's what he said.
had a low bid of, it was $50 less than the local guy. But the company was in Rutland, Vermont, I think.
Yeah, Heritage Board.
It actually cost more than $50 to go over and get the equipment and bring it back. Whereas the local person would have delivered it. So state law changed and give us the opportunity to look at this and say, well, why spend $150 on equipment and manpower to go get that thing just to save $50 according to law? So they adjusted the law to allow us, because it's $50 or whatever, we can justify it, just get it from the local guy and deliver it. So that's what the change is, and we need to, I see your look, Arsen, that's the way it was explained to the mayor and I.
I understand that, but why are we spending money on attorney fees when we can just amend our procurement policy procedures?
I don't know if there's attorney fees, he just sent this letting us know that state law changed.
He wants it,
Well,
he wants those back.
I don't think he drafted this up for nothing.
He's just telling us that state law changed, I don't know what you wanna ask him if he charged us, or I don't understand. Isn't that his job, to make sure that we're legally following the law for the state of New York?
I think he just sent you a letter because we had him do ours for the town.
Uh-huh.
Made a resolution which we passed.
Yeah, but this is already labeled local number one and everything.
We have to change it, we have to change our local law to adapt that.
We don't have this in local law. We have a procurement policy that's been adopted by a resolution that's reviewed every year at the organizational meeting. I was just wondering why we can't do it that way.
Let's do it that way then, fine.
I mean, if we can.
I was trusting the attorney, he said that you need to change, I mean, that's, he sent
Because
this,
I haven't heard any discussion about this anywhere else,
he sent this over a month ago, didn't he, in a letter?
Yeah, we did.
but it wasn't read at a board meeting or anything.
No, we didn't even know it was from Ford until we met with Bill.
You wanna table it until we read it in the next board meeting?
That
I have no
sounds
problem
good.
with that.
Yeah.
We need to do something.
Well, I
here
just
soon.
think if it's easier to
Something we can work out.
amend this in our procurement policy, then it is, number one, it's cheaper to start off with.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna have to advertise and for a legal notice and stuff like that, and, you know, you have to send it, and you're gonna have to, it's gonna cost you money to publish it in your village code,
Mhm.
but it's up to the board, I was just wondering why I can't do, you know, because I think we have a very good procurement policy, even the auditors have said that,
If we can change it ourselves.
Yeah, good point, Arson, thanks.
but, you know, I
I'm not an
don't,
attorney, I'm just going by what the attorney
Yeah.
suggested that we do tonight.
is he aware that we have a procurement policy?
Yes.
Yes.
See, that came down to us from the town and, town and county thing. They sent us a letter saying they would allow the town to do that. And that's what we must have picked it up at. Which would help us out considerably on this purchase that Bill was talking about. 'Cause we
But what
did-
I'm saying is, why can't we just incorporate this in our procurement policy, instead of spending all these other fees?
I think we would have to eventually, he's just trying to bring us up to speed with the changes in New York State law. I don't know, but like I said, I'm just going by what he said, he suggested.
Well, let's-
Table until we check.
No, I know it has to be done, I just didn't know if it should be done local by local law or the other way.
I don't think so, I think that's
One's gonna
why,
cost you money and the other one isn't gonna cost you money.
I don't think so, I think that's why he sent it to us, it has to be done this way, that was my take on it.
Yeah, it's mine too, when
Can we
you
table until we
explain
find
it.
out?
He pretty much told us this has to be done to match, state law.
Yeah.
You want us to table it, Arsen, so you can call him and talk to him?
Well, we'll be able to do that the next week, but.
It's all right,
Well, it would be the next meeting,
next meeting, we can table it till the next.
it's up to you, because it affects your, paperwork.
I don't think you're going out to bid for anything in a short period of time, are you?
No.
Want to table it till we can call them?
Sure,
Yeah.
no, if the treasurer is not comfortable with it, then by all means,
I'm just trying to save money, I mean, I don't, you know,
Yeah.
it's just that when you put in local law, it takes a lot more legislation to change it.
Well, let's table it then.
Sure.
Till next meeting,
Motion
meeting will be lost.
Motion.
September, we'll table it till the 3rd of September.
There's,
Alright. The next one, resolution designating a village officer for service of notices of claim filed with the Secretary of State. That's this one. Yeah. So we decide what to do there.
Carol, do you want to read that resolution? Carol?
I can, yes.
Yeah.
Whereas general municipal law, section 53 allows municipalities to file with the Secretary of State a certification designating the Secretary of State as an agent for service of a notice of claim. And whereas general municipal law requires the certification to include the applicable time limit for filing the notice of claim and the name, post office, address, and electronic mail address, if available, of an officer person for the transmittal of notices of claims served upon the Secretary as a municipality's agent. And whereas pursuant to General Municipal Law 50-E1A, the applicable time limit for the filing of a notice of claim upon a municipality is 90 days after the claim arises, or in the case of a wrongful death action, 90 days from the appointment of a representative of the descendant's estate. Now therefore be it resolved that the village board of the village of Rouses Point, county of Clinton, designates the village clerk of the village to receive notices of claims served upon the Secretary of State by mail at P.O. Box 185, 139 Lake Street, Rouses Point, New York 12979, and email at carolh@crimelink1.net. Be it further resolved that the village board hereby directs the village clerk to file the required certificate with the Secretary of State informing him or her of the village's designation and applicable time limitation for filing a notice of claim with the village on or before July 14th of 2013. This resolution shall take effect immediately. The question before going is approved. Need a motion?
I'll
Make a motion.
to. Make a motion to accept this resolution for vote.
Second?
Any discussion? No discussion.
What-
Everybody needs to sign it.
what does this mean anyway?
This is also another change in New York State law. It's got to do with
Yeah. that's right.
claims of suits against a municipality. It has to be filed with the state now. You want to table it so you can call them?
No, I didn't know what it was about,
Yeah.
you know?
So we want to pass it, roll call, go ahead.
Aye.
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 And Mayor votes aye. Okay, that's all I have. Environment.
I actually have nothing tonight, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, trustee Haskell.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This was brought up last year and it fell through the cracks. We've been working with the revitalization committee, all the business owners, some of the tenants or the owners of the buildings who rent or lease property or apartments. This has been going on for 8 months. And what we would like to do is propose changes to village code as they pertain to parking along Lake Street. As anybody can see, Lake Street, and I love to see heavy traffic like that because it looks like business is picking up. We have some new businesses in town, so we have to help them out. Little green sprouts, we have to fertilize them every now and then. So what's happening is the 2-hour parking along the streets is not being enforced. We need to start that process. Village law has several contradictions in it, whereas if you own or rent an apartment on Main Street, you can park your car in front of it, in front of that building, and disregard the 2-hour parking. We would like to change that. People can't park in the parking lot overnight because it's restricted. People can't park here, outside here, because it's restricted. So we need to make minor adjustments to our parking law in the village so we can let these little green shoots take off. Hopefully business will spread, and we need more parking downtown. We need to emphasize we have the parking lot. So I will read these, just to let you know what we're up to. And from here, it will be put into legal format. It will come back to us. We will have an open meeting with the public to make comments and suggestions for and against. After so many days of listening to the public, we will vote on changes or not. The first one is section 112-20, limited time parking. This is the 2-hour business parking. We want to amend it by removing except for vehicles owned by residents which are parked on those streets directly in front of their residences. So we want to take that away and promote, try to get them to park in the back of the building. Each one of those buildings has sufficient parking in the back. They don't need to park on the street, they need to park in the back, so we can open up that spot for someone who wants to cater to one of the businesses down here. Yes, sir.
Okay, but along with that, on Lake Street, there's 2 apartment buildings that hold 10 units each that don't have a parking spot. What are we gonna do?
Well, we're gonna fix that next corresponding down here. The next one is section 112-44, schedule 11, no parking certain hours. We want to amend that law by adding Chapman Street, north side, 1 AM to 5 AM from Lake Street west for a distance of 250 feet along the municipal park. We want to avoid people parking for 2 or 3 days at a time along the park. I've seen RVs down there, trucks with trailers parked overnight. We need to open that up, not only for the people that are in the park enjoying, be boxed in by all these vehicles, but also open it up for people in the laundromat and the car wash, give them more availability to use that instead of having these vehicles stuck there overnight for 2 days.
And Sandy's Deli also.
Sure.
Yeah, that was Andy.
The next one is section 112-48A, overnight parking. We want to amend it to the overnight parking of vehicles between the hours of 2 AM to 6 AM is prohibited in the municipal parking lot located on Washington Avenue without a parking permit issued by the village in accordance with the section I just read. So in other words, we want to take that restriction out and allow cars to park overnight there with permit so that we know who they are. And so the residents that have extra vehicles in those apartments down there, can't fit them all in the back, they would be able to park in the municipal parking lot with a permit. The last one is 112-48B, overnight parking. Again, this is the rec center here. The overnight parking of vehicles between the hours of 2 AM and 6 AM is prohibited in all village-owned and maintained parking lots other than the Washington Avenue parking lot and the Rouses Point Civic Center parking lot without a parking permit issued by the village in accordance with. So we want to have a section over here to allow bicyclists to park with a permit overnight or 2 or 3 days, to just that one section over there to make it legal. Right now you can't park overnight there. So these are the changes that we're suggesting. So as I said, it'll go to the attorney, it'll come back in legal form, and we'll have an open discussion, open to the public, to discuss these issues.
Most of the time, the people that park here, they come here on a Saturday morning.
Right.
So how are they gonna get a permit from the village if they don't?
They email, most of them email the clerk, and she tells them yes or no, and from that point, she'll be able to send a form to absolve the village of any risks. In other words, park at your own risk.
Now, Mr. Masco, is there a fee for these permits?
I'm sorry?
You go shop in the
Are we-
Walmart, you
are we
say,
charging
"Oh,
a
we got
fee for the
an EMS call,
permits?
and you're parked on the street around 3 o'clock, are you gonna get a ticket for helping us out at the EMS call, and you come down to the hospital with us? How's that gonna work for us?
What's that, Clifford?
Are we charging a permit fee or no?
No.
That would have to, I would think not.
Okay.
At this
I'm just
point.
looking at the residents, as far as people coming through town and parking, I don't have a problem, but the ones who own the apartments that were looking for a place for them to park,
Oh, no,
Okay.
residents, no
That's all
parking
I'm
fees, no.
Brad had a point there. Like, Go ahead.
Yeah, for us as emergencies, if we're coming back from like Plattsburgh or something, from Walmart, at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock, we get a call, and the ambulance is already there, we show up to help load and assist, and we're stuck having to go down to Plattsburgh, are we gonna get a ticket?
Your car's gonna be towed. No. We'll discuss that at the, no.
Right.
There's,
No, you ain't gonna, if you gotta go to emergency,
if your car
Ain't
broke
nobody
down,
gonna
tow
tow
your
your
car
car
away.
Yeah.
if you're gonna be in a snowstorm and you're gonna sit there all night long, well,
Yeah.
and it's every day, you're going to be towed away, period.
I know there's quite a few cars that come up and park in the railroad station parking lot
That's not our property though,
and stuff.
that's CPR.
Well, it is
We
on
were-
the tarmac.
Oh, it is,
railroad
but they're all
station.
parking in the dirt, that's all
Yeah.
CPR property, that's,
Yeah.
there's no
But like I
issue.
said, there's a couple of them that park there for a week and stuff, you know, and.
Okay, I also, Mr. Mayor, I have, I would like to request, or make a motion for executive session to discuss an